Okay, John, so we haven't spoke, I think, since after the Ebbsfleet game. What's your assessment been of the last couple of weeks at the club?
Yeah, to be honest, I think that if I look at a group, probably covering 2 or 3 weeks, I think with the Havant game, with the Wrexham game, with the Ebbsfleet game, and obviously Saturday's game, I think we've seen probably the best improvement in performance since we've been here. I think players are buying in a bit more to what we're trying to do, and I've been pleased. I was disappointed at Ebbsfleet because I thought we'd done enough. Yeah, I know they scored late in the game, but I thought we'd done enough. I don't think you've ever heard me moan about officials, but I thought I went in the dressing room afterwards and spoke to him and the assessor, and to be honest, they agreed with me. We had a one-on-one with our goalkeeper and he blows up for a foul in our favour, and I pointed that out, and before I said it he knew, and he said it's one of them things he made too quick a decision, which is football, I understand that, but you know, at a time when I felt we was on top, and although I might have said it in a joke, you know, I actually meant what I said. If that was a player that denied a goal scoring opportunity, he'd have been sent off and had a ban. The referee denied a goal scoring opportunity and everyone thinks, well, that's okay. Well, you know, I understand how difficult the job is and I'm not sort of banging on about it, but I thought, you know, in fairness, we deserved something without a doubt from that game, as we did Wrexham. And on Saturday against a good side, I was scouting, but I've seen the game back. I thought we were very, very good against a good side. I just felt that, you know, we scored 2 good goals. We defended against the side. I think that regular scorers, we defended well. I thought the penalty was disappointing from our point of view. I don't think we should be tackling in those areas, not by going on the floor anyway. But overall, we've seen, I think, you know, massive improvements in performance, and I think a touch more hunger, which I wasn't sure we had earlier on, but it's certainly been better.
As you've said, and Hakan said a lot about the building blocks, you feel like we're still continuing, we're on a good path now? Yeah,
you know, back to, you know, follow the yellow brick road is what I always say, and it's you know what, I've been a bit of a critic at times, but I'm going to defend players a little bit to have had the changes that they've had over a season. I wasn't here early in the season, so I don't know how good, bad or indifferent it was, but when we come, the last game that I saw, the game that I saw here, I think before I came here, was against Maidenhead, and it was obvious that there was problems, and as I pointed out to the club, if it's a quick fix, year after, it's not going to be me, you know, and I would advise against that, because I don't think I'm particularly good at that. I can build a football team, I can do that, and I can find good, young, hungry players, and build a team, and so I think, you know, gradually it takes time, and I understand that when I went to Luton, I went a bit nearer the end of the season than now, and I had that amount of time to get prepared for the following season, which helped me. So I think that, you know, if I stick to how I do it and work with the people that like understand how I work, i.e. Hakan, and bring in people that are anxious to make something of themselves, you know, to be successful in what they do, then we're on the right path to do that. In a strange way, you know, there may be, I don't know how many, but a lot of players' contracts are up, and you know, some won't be for us, some will be for us, but maybe they think they can stay at this level and stay there. So maybe some of what we've done isn't going to come into play because people would have left. But the people that are here would have picked it up, and they're the best teachers themselves. Players are the best teachers, because when they're out there doing something, people can pick that up easier than when you explain it. So on the right path, without a shadow of a doubt.
So on the subject of young, hungry players who are coming into the club, you must have been delighted with Amaluza's impact last week.
Yeah, absolutely. When I went to Barnet, I'd gone and he'd already gone, and I'd seen him and I liked him. I think he's got sort of most of the ingredients, not all, but most of the ingredients to become a good player in that position. I think he can probably learn how to play up the middle as well with a 2, perhaps not a 1. And I know that he's a work in progress, but I know he has all of the raw talent that we want to bring to this football club. So fortunately, Hakan had worked with him as well at Braintree, and when I come, said, look, I think, what do you think? And he said, yeah, I think so, let's do that, which we did. So we were delighted, and the goals that he scored, I'm telling you, are not one-offs. He scored a good goal here against Gillingham. I think he's took a little bit of time to get used to full-time training again, because he wasn't training full-time, and that takes its toll on you. So very, very pleased for him. He's a smashing young man, wants to learn, wants to be better, absorbs information, and he's definitely a plus for us, without a doubt.
I suppose we must be moving quite far down the line now in terms of having a head start on people and starting to make little moves and seeing what we're going to do in the summer.
Yeah, I mean, we're out watching countless games. I'm mixing and matching. I'm watching us watching games, watching us watching games. I'm picking up more on people that have been highlighted by our scouts. I have 2 really that have worked. I have many scouts, but 2 in particular that if they say it's for us, I know it's for us, because they've worked with me forever, and I mean for years and years. I mean, Alan Dafford, who's my chief scout, who runs it all for me, worked with me when I was here before. That's how long he's worked for me, or with me, really, I should say, with me, because he does work with me. And a guy called Mickey Loughton, and you know, that if they go, it's a yes, it's a yes. With the time that we came here, and maybe going to be quite a few holes to fill, you know, I've had to spend a little bit of time doing that as well, and I'm trying to mix and match the games. I'll be at Saturday's game, and although we're playing my old club on Tuesday night, I might not be here for that one, but I think it's important that we get yes or no's on certain players. We won't get them all, but we want to have as many yeses, if you like, that we can go for, and get some of them. We won't get all of them. So that's how it's been at the moment.
Are we reaching a point where you're beginning to talk to the existing squad about what they're going to do next year?
I said to Hack and to Simon that let's get to July. It's a busy time, it's a busy month. I mean, when you look at the games that we've got to play, I mean, 7 games in 23 days or something like that. I said I think training will be much lighter this month because of playing Saturday, Tuesdays, and then we've got a Friday, Monday, haven't we, and things like that. So I think that we'll be drawing up, I'll probably do it over the weekend, drawing up a list of all of the players that we want to speak to and when. And so what we'll be doing, we'll be telling players on a Monday that we'll be talking to them at such and such a time on Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday. So by the end of sort of next week, we probably would have spoken to everybody. They'll see where we are, and we'll see where they are. If they're out of contract and they're over 24, they have every option to leave. If they're under 24, then obviously, and we wanted to retain them, then obviously they have to go to tribunal if they want to leave. If there's players that are under contract here that we don't want, you know, all we can do is make them available for transfer. So all that will be covered in the next, probably in the next week, 10 days.
So one departure this week has been Dan Meredith. Obviously he's not played too much recently. Is that the reason he's come back, really?
Well, when Dan came here, I mean, Darren Moore was a manager, who's a good friend of mine and Hackhan's, in fairness. And I was looking for a young right back. I knew Sean could play there, but I wanted a young right back. And it's a big move for Dan because it's sort of away from home, isn't it? And he come and he's played his part. And I told him when he come that there's no guarantees. And he missed a few games, and he was a great lad. And he said, look, I want to try and secure something still at West Brom, and if I'm not playing regularly, I can play in the 23s there. What do you think? And I said, listen, if that's how you feel, I understand that, and maybe that's what you should do. So he went back up there, and we were fine with that.
So looking ahead to tomorrow's game, how are the team looking?
Yeah, the last few games we've had lots of people fit, which has been nice. It's nice not to have to chop and change your team every week, which we found we were doing, which is always disappointing, particularly when you're trying to get something settled, a formation and a style settled. So yeah, the same squad probably to pick from like last week, and we're happy about that, to be honest. That's a plus.
That's a good place to leave it.
Is it all right? So,